welcome back. I'll apologise off the bat. As you know, the dogs like chewing on the bones. Well, the sun is out today, so everybody's out, and the dog's been barking like mad at everything, so you will hear some barks in the background. They're just dogs, you know. Righty. Also, this is the third time I've tried to make this video again. Not because of the dogs or me, anything, but they've gone on for like half an hour, and really I've gone off on a tangent into another project which I really want to do a separate video about. So hopefully this won't be, you know, 30, 35, 40 minutes long, hopefully. So crack on. What have I painted since the last paint update? And what am I still painting? Because there's quite a bit. I just had some pop, sorry. Right, so I finished a unit of, well, I finished these guys with blades, with the axe. It's a big bird. I finished these guys, well, a 5-man strong unit of Die Avengers. Talassar blue body, very basic, white cloth and everything, black weapons, the white helmet that was sprayed white as a base coat, and then I've gone over as a highlight with most of it, with white scar pot paint. The crests on the helm, when I was doing the Talassar bodysuit armour, I did some stripes with Talassar blue, and then I've gone over all of that, including the blue, with the Iyanden yellow, and I think it looks all right for the crest for Die Avengers. Looks all right, yeah. I have finished. Now, obviously I need to do the basing on these. If you've watched other videos, you know that I do quite a few units, and I have like a weekend of basing, basically, painting and then flocking. I finished 5 of these guys. Very basic. I like them. I like them a lot better than they were when they were Black Legion. They're very basic. Just want to make out some chevron hazard stripes. The other one's black. I'll put a transfer, Iron Warriors transfer. I've got a million of them. And various Chaos kits over the years that I've kept the transfers. So I've done 5 of those, all armed, all of the chainsword and bolt pistol. I've got 2 more chainsword and bolt pistol pretty much done. The unit leader with the power fist. Sorry, I've got 3 more chainsword, bolt pistol done. I've got the unit leader. Sorry, I do have 2 with the chainsword and bolt pistol. I've got the icon bearer painted pretty much. The unit leader with the power fist and the plasma pistol, and I've got the melter gun gadget mostly painted. I've painted the yellow, the black, obviously the lead belch was sprayed on, the gold trim. I need to go back with, they've all got horns of some, well, most of them do anyway. I need to do the horns, and some of them have a bit of clothing even there, like a tabard or something. Some of them have tassels. This guy, he's got tassels on the end of his chainsaw there, can you see? I'm not anywhere near, I can't see a blue thing. And yeah, I need to go over them with Wraithbone, which I've actually run out, so I need to buy a pot of that. And we all know how that goes, yeah. You go for 1 pot of paint, you come out with a bloody new army. We'll see how that goes. And then yeah, just I think I use Skeleton Horde for the horns, or Agrax Wash. I can't remember now. It looks like Skeleton Horde, I must admit. And yeah, there's a little bit of flesh here and there that I'll paint. The Master of Executions, the old axe. Whoosh. Done. He's got like little tentacle kind of things, especially on the weapon on the back. That I went over the Wraithbone, and then I went over with not Magus Purple, Doomfire Magenta. There's like a, you know, organy kind of colour. Yeah, he's done, like I say, I've got 5 more Iron Warriors pretty much done, say 80%. And I'm also 80% through the Sorcerer as well for those. The old world stuff, Bretonnian Knights, when I was itching to do these, I had like colour schemes, dreamed about colour schemes and shit like that, and I thought, oh, it'd be a joy to paint. Yeah. They're in the right ball there. I painted 2 of them yellow with the red chevronnel, sorry, for the De Clare family, historical De Clare family. They were a pain in the ass to paint, but in fact all the heraldry needed touching up and going back, and even now looking at this, it's fucking horrific. But yeah, so this guy's yellow, black and red kind of colour scheme, a bit different. I've gone, the other ones are all different as well. As you can see on the shoulder shield kind of thing, jousting arm I suppose. I've gone for the De Clare chevronnels on there, which they're not too bad at that scale, get away with it. I still need to paint the horse, the lance, the paladin. He's got his head out, so I need to paint, you know, his skin, his hair. Yeah, and that's them pretty much done. The hooves as well, I need to paint, obviously part of the horse, isn't it? Yeah, these, I'm quite chuffed with these. I do need to finish the teeth and the tongue, if I can get in there. Let me do the tongue first, obviously. I quite like the paint scheme that I've got on these. Cold ones for the Cold One Knights. I've left the knights all on the table, so you got that, but the basic colour scheme, paint them all over pretty much with Runelord brass, Runefang steel, the shoulder pads and the vambrace, the neck guard. I've painted the burnished gold, Redemptor gold, maybe it's one of the two anyway. Excuse me again, Peggy. Yeah, I still need to finish those up. Like I say, I need to do the teeth and the tongue on the cold ones, and then I'll call them done. And they'll be added to the rest of the stuff that's right up here that is slowly building up. There's the rest of the Wraith Guard and the Die Avengers are up there. Like I say, I finished those off. I've also, I'd say, 80-90% through the Autarch and the Warlock Skyrim as well. So they'll be added to the top tray for once that's full. I've got that, and then I've got a little box full of AdMech stuff that needs basing. So I'll probably finish this batch of painting, what I've got left, and then my voice is gone. My nephew's voice is breaking, and it's quite hilarious. But yeah, I woke up today with a dodgy throat. I don't know where from. I haven't been shouting or anything. You know, sometimes I go to a hockey match or a football match or something, a rugby game, and shout my lungs out. Or go out on the piss and I sing all the songs in the dance floor. Yeah, I have a bad throat next day, and that's how it feels. So I'm drinking a pop to try and clear it, but I'm just burping. So yeah, so that's old world and 40k stuff that I've got done. I have made a start on a new project, where we are. We're only 10 minutes in. I'll briefly say it's going to be World War II, 20mm scale. Principally for this even. I will go into more detail what that is about in a different video, and that is the kit that I made. Like I say, I'll go into the specific units and everything that I've got. Likewise, the buildings that I've been shown in the background kind of thing, I've done the chimney, stuck them to a base, and then I've done lollipops in the floorboards, which these are, like I say, these are 20mm scale, so those floorboards are absolutely huge for that scale, but yeah, they'll do kind of thing. Still need to paint them. Like I say, I ran out of Wraithbone. I actually ran out of Wraithbone painting the inside walls of those buildings. The smaller buildings I've put on, I had a big long sheet of this, like this, and I just cut it in half and put a building on each. and likewise inside there were a few offcuts of wood that I've put here. I don't know if you can see that. It does kind of look like a road sign that's been broken, so my niece, who has helped me the most with this project, 20mm Sasha, I'll probably upside down paint to make it look funnier, Sashaville or something like that, Sasha Town, if I can get away with that. I use decals for that, I don't know. So yeah, so that's what I've painted. What I plan to paint next time around is finish the last of the Eldar that's based and painted, base coated, which is a Wave Serpent and 5 more Wraithguard. I have plenty of Iron Warriors that I'm throwing into there. I've got Bretonnian. I may do like 10 men at arms next. Bit of a cleanser from, you know, the nightmare that was these knights. I've got another 6 knights to paint. I'm not looking forward to them now, but hey, well, they need doing, don't they? You just can't do a simple paint job with Bretonnian knights and do them justice. I had some many years ago, and if you've ever seen the film, it's a Ridley Scott film, so it's not very good. It's the one about the Crusades. What the hell's it called now? I can't remember the name of it, but it's got Orlando Bloom is the main chap. Jeremy Irons is in it. No, it's not Patrick Stewart. Yeah, there's a few in it, and it's about the fight between. Well, it doesn't actually include the battle of what's it called, the one where the Crusaders were massacred. The Horns of Hatton. It doesn't include the Horns of Hatton. It includes the aftermath. But then it's like the siege of Jerusalem that took place afterwards, which, I mean, it's a Ridley Scott film, so it's not very historically accurate at all. But the knights that Liam Neeson, that's what I'm thinking of, not Patrick Stewart. Liam Neeson's in it. So he becomes the Count of Ibelin, I think it's called, and they have a colour scheme. It's a bit Crusader-ish. It's black on it's more like to me it looks like a desert yellow. So I had a Bretonnian army. All of the knights were painted good old desert yellow from Games Workshop. Brilliant paint. Went on all my German tanks as well at the time. It was that good. And then just a black cross, and yeah, it looked kind of crap, but it was a lot more simple, and it just didn't look Bretonnian. So I went down this route. Dog's going loopy. Good old dogs. Different colour schemes for the knights because it's Bretonnian. So, but yeah, it's a baller, but it'll do. It'll do. Like a lot of things. Purchases. I haven't bought any more miniatures. Like I say, I've got plenty of paint. I've even got maybe a batch full to build and paint after that as well. I want to save a bit of money for London. That's coming up soon, the end of May. But I have bought a few books. I needed this for the Absolutist Crusade to get the army list done. I've read through most of the book. It's a bit soulless, to tell the truth. It's not the standard of other codexes. So I'm not a fan, really. I understand that they take out a lot of the fluff of the codexes now to put in the campaign books, like the 500 Worlds campaign, the upcoming Iron Warriors one, that Yarick, the Return of Yarick book, I presume. Yeah, it just didn't, it wasn't a good read. Also, they've taken away power ratings, which makes it harder. It makes it trickier to build the army list, but I've built them all now. The Tau one, I've done like what I think is an equivalent. So, for example, Force Point 1 for the Eldar is 2 units of Guardians and 2 Wave Serpents. In the Tau, I've gone for 2 units of Fire Warriors and 2 Devilfish, and a Pathfinder unit, because I think the Fire Warriors are a bit crapper. But I may take the Pathfinders out and put them in a different force point if it's too shooty, so to speak. Also got this, much better book. Love it. I do like Chaos Demons. I like all the Chaos Demons, the different factions, very different armies. But they aren't a standalone faction that I've got planned for the Absolutist Crusade, but I will be getting Chaos Demons as allies for the Thousand Sons and the Iron Warriors. Obviously, the Thousand Sons will only be able to access the Tzeentch demons. Iron Warriors will have access to all 4 factions. So, various thoughts. This book does include the power rating. So I could say, each allied, as a support point, you can have up to say 30 power worth of demons, simply because that would be a bloodthirster, a unit of what they call bloodletters, and then maybe like a unit of skull crushers or a skull cannon, something like that. And then I had a thought of, well, the Battle Force box sets, why not just buy one of each? Pretty expensive, I know. Buy one of each faction and then just have that as the support point. And then separately have, like, you can have a Bloodthirster as a support point, but then a Bloodthirster is fairly weak. But then, Necrons, they've got a Catan Shard, which I think is about 15 power, 16 power as a standalone. Morkanauts are like 18, 19, I think. Gorgonauts. The Stomper is probably the most expensive because I think that's like 30 odd or something like that. Do I have the Orcs handy, actually? I certainly do. I'll have a quick look at what a Stomper is, shall we? Morkanaut 19, Gorkanaut 19, Stomper 34, bloody hell. Definitely want one though. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so I may make it, likewise the Astra Militarum could have like 30 points worth of Tempestus Scions as an allied support point. May do that. Likewise Eldar could have Harlequins or what they call Corsairs, Eldar Corsairs as support. Could go down that route. Like I say, I could just say, oh well, there's a Battle Force box, that's the support point. Yeah, lots of different ideas floating around. So yeah, the Tau book came last week. Actually, it came the day after, 2 days after I'd ordered it. Ordered last Thursday. It came on a Friday. Ordered Thursday, it came on a Friday. It's quite good that. Chaos Demons came yesterday, so just under a week. And then Tuesday, this bad boy came. Oh, I freaking love the rules of 3rd edition. Very nostalgic. It's the first edition where I managed to buy. I bought the box, so the Space Marines and Dark Eldar came with a rule book, a little bit of terrain as well. I built armies. I built a Chaos Army, Imperial Guard, Catachans, built plastic Catachans, and I had a Space Marine force as well, and just play a few games. But I love the rules. The fairly simple rules. The rules for things like vehicles and buildings are more complex than current 40k. Obviously, you don't have shit like stratagems and CP rerolls and that. So I prefer these old rules. And I was thinking of, maybe the Absolutist Crusade, the Badab War Crusade, the Badab War campaign. I'll definitely just do 9th edition, keep it nice and simple, without the stratagems and CPs, like I say. And a few special Space Marine rules. Your Oath of Moment is just shite. Get rid of that. And yeah, that's what I'll do for the Badab campaign, because that's more testing out the campaign map and campaign map rules. Actual battles, it's kind of a different project. I've said in the past I'll do 9th edition for the Absolutist Crusade. I said I might also go down the 11th edition route. What I'm now thinking of doing is none of the above, and just like cherry picking, because I've got pretty much every codex now. I've got Rogue Trader. I don't think I'll use any of the rules out of that. I've got 2nd edition, fairly simple. 3rd edition now. I've got 4th. I've got 5th. Do I have 5th? I don't think I've got 5th. I've got 6th, 8th, 9th, don't have 10th, don't want 10th. And then I'll have 11th because I want that box, the Space Marines and Orcs. And I'll kind of cherry pick which rules I like for each, from each edition. So I'll probably use the rules for vehicles from this because I don't like how, I'll use this as an example. Don't like how in modern 40k, in more recent 40k, a vehicle advances, it's tracked or wheeled, and it goes sideways like that, and it just looks shit. It you know, you could put a house brick on there and say it's a tank, and it doesn't matter, does it? Because, you know, facings don't matter. I will have to tweak the rules a little bit, obviously, because there's more modern 40k, more recent 40k vehicles like impulsors and stuff like that. That you know, the more modern vehicles have wounds as opposed to, I mean, in the past they had like hull points and stuff like that, or you know, they could be one-shotted by something like a las cannon and they blow up straight away. You know, you'd roll on penetration and glancing hits and stuff like that. And then they introduced hull points at a later date, I think 4th. So yeah, I'll have to work something out. I may do it where the vehicles have got the wounds that they have in the more modern codexes and that. Once you get 0 wounds instead of just dying, you get penetrating hits, and then you roll on the table for what the effect is. And let's say if you get penetrated 3 times, or like once for a small vehicle, twice for a larger vehicle, and 3 times for a bigger vehicle like a Land Raider. Maybe even 4 for something huge like a Stomper could have 6 or 7. And once, so like you can take like 7 a month, but they're all damaged. So you lose a weapon or something, or you're stunned, or you could explode if you roll a 6. But then once you've used up those hull points, then you are destroyed, and you definitely explode. You know, D6 or whatever. Maybe it's 1d6 for a small vehicle, 2d6 for, you know, and that's the radius, and then you get like different strength hits the closer you are to the explosion. Like I say, I just coming up with ideas. But yeah, I may go down that route. It is a lot of work. It's a lot more. I'll be taking rules away, but then I have to remember which rules I'm using. So I would pretty much have to rewrite, call it something daft like, you know, CJ40K or something daft like that. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, fuck it, we'll go with that. CJ40K, we'll call it. And pretty much, you know, cherry pick, like I say, what I like from each edition. And then, you know, all of this, if you want to do it, you do it your way. You play 40k as it's meant to be played, so to speak, how Games Workshop have written the rules. You can do that by, you know, I'm not going to come to your house and, you know, batter you in your sleep like Braveheart does. Another Ridley Scott film. It's Mel Gibson, isn't it? But it is a lot of, historically, it's a lot of crap. Brilliant film, a lot of crap. Yeah, so how long is this taking? This is 25 minutes. So, right, yes, we'll wrap it up. That's what I painted. That's what I plan painted. I've mentioned the other project, which I'll do a separate video about, the buildings I've done, the books I've bought. And yeah, we'll call it a day there for this update. Thank you for your time. Ciao for now. Only one ciao for now. Hold on.